What if the reason she can't stop thinking about a man has nothing to do with jokes, looks, or confidence? Most men still have no idea how fast her mind can spin when she hears the right question at the right moment. These 10 questions may sound simple, almost harmless, but they're built to slip past the tough face she shows the world and touch the private thoughts she keeps hidden. They don't flatter her, and they aren't silly lines from the internet. They're tools that make her wonder about you long after the conversation ends. While other guys rush to talk about themselves, you'll be the one who gets her opening up without even trying. Even old thinkers like Machiavelli understood something most men forget today. Real influence isn't loud, it's quiet, and it comes from guiding someone to reveal more than they planned. Women don't cling to the man who talks the most. They stay stuck on the man who listens and asks the kind of questions that shake their balance just a little. These questions spark curiosity, excitement, and that strange warm pull she can't explain, and once it starts, she won't stop thinking about you. If you don't understand how to use these questions, you'll end up like most guys who never get past a woman's surface. They talk, they joke, they try to look impressive, and still walk away feeling invisible, like they never mattered. But when you learn how these questions work, everything changes. You stop being another face she forgets and become the one person she can't ignore. These questions aren't magic tricks, and they aren't meant for quick wins. They're meant to reach the part of her that reacts before she can think, the part that decides who she keeps close and who she pushes away. Ask them with the right tone and timing, and stay calm enough to let the moment breathe. That's when emotions surface without being forced. Because real pull doesn't happen from clever words or loud confidence. It happens from the emotions you wake up inside her, the ones she can't explain but can't walk away from either. That's why these questions matter. They can turn a normal moment into something that sticks with her for days. And if you stay patient, speak less, and listen more, you'll understand something powerful. The strongest hold over someone isn't taken by force. It's given when they feel seen in a way they didn't expect. The first question is the one that shakes her the most. What kind of man makes you feel a little on edge, but still pulls you closer anyway? This question doesn't ask about her perfect dream guy or the version she tells her friends she wants. It reaches the part of her that reacts before she can explain it. Most men try to look safe, polite, and easy to read. But this question quietly tells her, you're not here to be another predictable choice. You're showing her you're comfortable with the parts of her most people never touch. When you ask it, stay steady and relaxed, because your calm tone is what makes her feel safe enough to answer. She may stop for a second, look at you differently, and try to figure out how honest she wants to be. She might say she's drawn to men who don't cling to her approval, or men who challenge her but still make her feel wanted. Whatever she shares is important, because she's giving you a clear look at the energy that wakes something up inside her. Don't rush, don't joke, and don't pretend to be something you're not. Just understand what she's telling you, and carry yourself in a way that matches the strength she's describing. The strength of this question is that it shows you what draws her in, even when she doesn't fully understand why. And once she opens that door, something shifts. She starts replaying the moment, wondering why it felt different, and why you're still in her head. The next question slips under every guard she has. What's the soft spot you hide that only someone special could ever notice? It doesn't come in loud, and it doesn't push her to spill anything she's not ready for. It feels gentle, almost like a quiet tap on a door she rarely opens. Most men stay on the surface, asking the same routine things she's heard 100 times, but this question reaches the part of her she usually keeps tucked away. When you ask it, you're telling her without saying it that you want to know the real her, Not the polished version, not the safe version, the one she shows only when she feels truly seen. She might glance down, smile in a shy way, or say she's not sure she should talk about it. That's when you slow down, keep your voice warm, and let her know she doesn't have to explain anything. Even saying something like, "It's okay, I can already picture it," creates a quiet moment that feels close without being pushy. That small pause builds something rare, comfort mixed with curiosity. If she chooses to share, listen closely. Her answer will tell you what touches her heart, what scares her, and what she hopes someone might understand without her needing to say it. This isn't a trick. It's about noticing her without asking for more than she's ready to give. And once she feels you can handle her softer side without judging or rushing her, she'll start opening up in ways even she didn't expect. That feeling stays with her, and whether she says it or not, she'll remember the moment you made her feel safe enough to be real. The third question touches a part of her most people never even think to ask about. What's something a person once stirred in you that felt a little wild, but also strangely right? This question isn't about drama or old stories. It's about a feeling she once had that didn't fit into her normal, calm life. Most guys keep conversations safe, but you're showing her you're not afraid of the parts of her that are harder to explain. When you ask it, stay steady and quiet, because your tone tells her you can handle whatever she says without turning it into a joke or an awkward moment. She might smile in a nervous way, or take a breath like she's deciding if she should say the truth. That pause is important. It means she's thinking deeper than usual. If she says she's not sure she should tell you, don't push her. A simple line like, "It's all right, some things are strong even when they're hard to talk about," lets her know you're not here to judge. And if she does open up, she's not just telling you a memory. She's showing you a feeling she keeps locked away, something that wakes her up emotionally but doesn't have a name. Listen without interrupting, without trying to fix anything. Just let her feel understood. After she finishes, looking at her for a quiet second before speaking works in a powerful way. You can gently say something like, "I feel like there's even more behind that," and then stop talking. That silence draws her in, because now she's wondering what you see in her that others never noticed. And once she feels that, she starts thinking about what you might awaken in her next, and that thought alone keeps you on her mind. The fourth question looks playful on the surface, but it opens a door most people never let her walk through. What's something you'd want to do if nobody could ever trace it back to you? At first, it sounds like a silly, light question, but it reaches a place in her mind where she keeps quiet wishes, bold ideas, and little secrets she rarely shares. Before, conversations felt safe and forgettable. Now, you're giving her space to imagine without limits. When she hears it, she might laugh, look away, or say she probably shouldn't answer. That reaction is perfect. It means her mind is already picturing something, even if she never says it out loud. And the moment she starts thinking about it, she's tying that private feeling to you, simply because you're the one who made her think it. You don't need to push her to explain anything. That ruins the magic. Instead, you can say something gentle like, "You don't have to tell me. Just knowing you thought of something is enough." That one line creates a calm moment between you, something personal without needing details. She'll remember that feeling, because it's rare for someone to let her keep a private thought without demanding details. And now, every time she remembers the thing she imagined, she remembers you with it. That's how you become more than a person she talked to. You become the one connected to her hidden side, not because you forced anything, but because you knew how to let her mind wander while you stayed right there with her, steady and calm. The fifth question reaches a memory she doesn't usually touch. What kind of man stays in your thoughts, even if he wasn't good for you. This isn't about digging up old hurt or judging her past. It's about the strange pull some people create, the kind that doesn't vanish just because the relationship had problems. Almost every woman has met someone who wasn't perfect, but still left a spark she couldn't shake. When you ask this, stay calm and open, because the last thing you want is to sound jealous or eager for details. You're giving her room to remember a feeling, not defend a choice. She might pause, look off to the side, or let out a small breath before she answers. That's the moment she's slipping into the part of her mind where the strong feelings live. Don't interrupt or make jokes. Just let her talk. When she finishes, a soft reply like, "That tells me a lot about what reaches you," makes her feel understood instead of judged. Something important happens here. As she remembers how that man made her feel, her mind quietly connects those emotions to the person standing in front of her. You. The brain doesn't always separate old feelings from new ones, especially when the new person listens without fear or criticism. And once she feels that mix of safety and intensity around you, she starts seeing you in a different light. That one question can shift her whole view of you, and she may not even realize why, but she will feel it. The sixth question seems harmless, but it works in a quiet, sneaky way. Has anyone ever pulled you in and you couldn't explain why? It doesn't ask about her type or her usual choices. It asks about a moment when her heart moved before her brain caught up. Most people don't like to admit they've felt that, but almost everyone has. When you ask it, you're guiding her back to a time when something inside her reacted without logic, without planning, without control. She'll think about a look, a voice, or a presence she couldn't shake, and while she's remembering that, her mind naturally starts comparing that old pull to the feeling she has sitting with you now. That's the real power of this question. You aren't pointing at yourself, but you're making her wonder if the same strange pull is happening again. If she says yes, reply softly with something like, "Funny how the strongest things don't always make sense." Then stop talking. That silence hits harder than words, because now she has to feel instead of explain. It gives her space to feel instead of think. And in that space, her thoughts start circling around you, trying to figure out why the moment feels heavier than a normal conversation. You're not pushing her, you're not bragging, you're simply letting her sit with a feeling she can't explain, and people don't forget moments like that. This question doesn't rush her into admitting anything. It just plants a thought that grows on its own, slowly tying her curiosity and her excitement back to you. The seventh question doesn't ask if she likes someone, it asks how her body gives her away. What signs does your body show when someone pulls you in, even when you try to hide it? This question shifts the focus from her words to her reactions, which most people never pay attention to. The moment you ask it, she'll start replaying times when she felt drawn to someone but didn't want anyone to know. And while she thinks about that, her body will often do those same things without her noticing. Maybe she tucks her hair, bites her lip, looks down, or smiles a little too fast. You don't need to tease or make a big scene. You just watch quietly, relaxed, like you're used to noticing small things. When the moment is right, you can say something gentle like, "You just did one of those now." Say it slow, without trying to sound clever. That simple observation can shake her in the best way, because it makes her realize you see what others miss. Most guys wait for obvious signals, but you're reading the hints she didn't mean to give. And once she knows you can catch those tiny reactions, she becomes more aware of how she acts around you. That awareness changes how the moment feels for her. She'll wonder what else you've noticed, what you're thinking, and whether she showed more than she meant to. This question doesn't force her to confess anything. Instead, it makes her feel seen in a way that's gentle, steady, and hard to forget. And people remember the ones who notice what they try to hide. The eighth question brings her face to face with a truth she usually keeps quiet. How do you act when you start caring for someone but don't want anyone to notice? It's not about her past or who she once loved. It's about the tiny things she does right now, in the present, when her feelings begin to grow and she's trying to keep them under control. The moment you ask it, she turns inward. She starts thinking about the little habits she slips into when her heart is waking up. Maybe she pulls back. Maybe she gets shy. Maybe she pretends nothing's happening at all. While she's sorting through those thoughts, she can't help but wonder if she's doing any of those things around you. That's the quiet spark this question creates. If she answers with something like, "I act distant," or "I avoid saying too much," you can smile lightly and say, "So if you pull away, that means I'm getting to you." Say it calmly, almost playful, and then leave a moment of silence. That silence does the work for you. It makes her wonder what you've noticed, what she's showing, and whether she's already revealing more than she meant to. This question doesn't force her to admit anything out loud. It simply shines a small light on feelings she might already have but hasn't named. And once she thinks about how she behaves when she's falling for someone, she'll start paying attention to her own reactions around you, and that tiny bit of awareness can grow into something much stronger. The ninth question touches the part of her heart that still remembers things she thought she had let go of. What is something a man left on you that stayed, even after he was gone? You're not asking for names, details, or drama. You're asking about the moment, the feeling, the small mark that didn't fade. Everyone has something like that. A gesture, a look, a way someone made them feel seen or wanted or understood, even if everything else fell apart. When you ask this, stay calm and open, because the strength of this question comes from how steady you remain while she steps into a memory. She might talk about a word he said at the right time, the way he made her feel safe, or how he pulled out a part of her she didn't know she had. Listen without shifting, without making jokes, without letting jealousy show. This is where she unknowingly hands you the map to the kind of connection that stays with her. When she finishes, don't rush to give advice. A quiet line like, "That tells me what truly reaches you," lets her know you heard her clearly. And something interesting happens in her mind at that moment. The feeling she just described starts blending with the feeling she has sitting with you now. Our minds don't always separate old emotions from new ones when the person in front of us feels steady and safe. That's how you move from being just a guy in her day to someone she sees as capable of leaving the kind of mark she remembers, the kind she doesn't forget. The 10th question feels gentle, but it reaches deeper than almost anything else. If someone could understand you without you having to explain a single thing, what place would that person have in your life? You're not asking her for a label or a fantasy. You're asking her to imagine a kind of presence most people never offer. Someone who gets her without long talks, without guessing, without her having to hide parts of herself just to keep the peace. The moment she hears it, she doesn't analyze it. She feels it. She starts picturing what it would be like to be understood that easily, to have someone notice her moods, her tone, her silence, her quirks, without her needing to spell anything out. And if you've kept a steady, calm energy with her, she'll naturally start placing you in that picture without even realizing she's doing it. She might say something like, "Someone like that would mean a lot," or "People like that don't come around often." You don't rush to prove anything or talk about yourself. You just say something simple like, "Maybe they're not as rare as you think." Then you leave a few seconds of quiet. That silence isn't empty. It builds a warm pressure that makes her think, "Why does this feel so real right now?" She won't remember your exact words later, but she'll remember how the moment made her feel seen, understood, and strangely drawn to you. That's the kind of feeling that sticks. If even one of these questions made you pause for a moment, imagine what they'll do to a woman who already feels a spark with you. These aren't tricks, and they're not meant to rush her into anything. They work because they open doors inside her that most men never notice, and they let her share pieces of herself she usually keeps hidden. When you ask them with patience, with steady energy, and without trying to impress her, you create feelings she doesn't forget. That's the real strength behind them, not loud words, not acting tough, just knowing how to guide a moment so her heart does the talking instead of her mind. Use these questions wisely, stay calm, and give her space to feel the things she usually pushes down. And long after the conversation ends, she won't remember every word, just how you made her feel. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, when used with care, words don't just fill silence, they shape moments people remember.